Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is the digital asset investor. I think we should talk about the elephant in the room first, which is that the XRP prices have been surging over the last few days with 36% in 48 hours. And the one thing I'll mention about this is I believe it was the Ethereum founder not too long ago said that we will never see 1,000% returns again in the crypto market. I wholeheartedly disagree with him, and the reason I disagree with him is that this is just one example. If you can do 36% in a couple of days, what can you do between 2018 and 2022, say? There's no telling what you can do, is the answer to that question. We're in a completely new paradigm now, and I don't even think the creator of Ethereum understands what's about to happen in terms of the markets and the what I mentioned in the earlier video today about this being a new asset class. But I wanted to move along, and I had brought up the other day Fidelity, and I think I've seen a few articles pop up since I brought that up. I think some people may have forgotten that Fidelity was on the scene the way they were. And so somebody wrote this article, the ICO Journal, and I wanted to read to you just a few quotes from this article because it's pretty darn telling about just how huge this is. Now remember, I keep talking about how huge Bakkt is, which is the cryptocurrency exchange that the New York Stock Exchange is coming out with in November. And then you also have NASDAQ. Well, Fidelity, I didn't realize it, but Fidelity is coming out. I mean, I knew they were coming out with a crypto exchange, but I didn't realize that they wanted to compete directly with Bakkt. It says the rumor, this is a quote from this article. It says the rumors out there stem from Fidelity passing on taking a stake in Bakkt and then have run amok from there. And then it says Bakkt has all the institutional pipes, but Fidelity has that same access, but a massive retail name that can tap millions of customers. And for those of you that are not aware, in terms of retirement, Fidelity has one of the largest customer bases of IRA 401k customers in the world. They are huge. And they manage, just so you know, they manage $2.4 trillion in assets. I mean, just think about that. If just 200 billion of those dollars went into the cryptocurrency space, it would double it at what it's at today, which is about 200 billion. It would double it if just 200 billion. Think about that. Think about what that's going to be like when you have these Fidelity customers, Bakkt, NASDAQ, and then other huge exchanges all around the world. And all this happens in conjunction with our favorite digital asset, XRP, displaying its utility for the first time in the history of the world that a digital asset has done it. Okay, moving along in this article, it says the real intrigue is the rumor that Fidelity considers themselves to be crafting a real competitor to Bakkt. So they're planning on being as big or bigger than Bakkt. Okay, and then there was one other quote in here that I wanted to read to you, and that is, at present, select clients can link their Coinbase accounts to their Fidelity portfolios, enabling them to view their cryptocurrency holdings on the Fidelity platform alongside their other investments. This new service would allow Fidelity to hold crypto assets directly. Now, this is what I have said for a long, long time, and that is, in fact, I've told you this before. When I first began investing in cryptocurrencies, I told my wife that if I was right and this ever got to a place where we could transfer our XRP into an E-Trade account or an Ameritrade TD, I think it's called TD Ameritrade still, whatever that's called, or a Fidelity or a Charles Schwab account. If this ever got to the point where you could send your digital assets into a traditional brokerage account, sell out of it, buy stocks or bonds or whatever, or sell out of stocks and bonds and buy into crypto assets. Yeah, I told my wife 4 years ago that if we were ever able to do that, that would realize all of my hopes and dreams of what this could become, and it would be worth no telling how much. And that is what's happening right now. Everything that my dream that I imagined could possibly happen with digital assets is exactly what's happening right now before our eyes. And you're watching it article by article right now, but by November, you're going to begin to see it on the ground. And that's right at the time that you're going to see XRP on the ground showing us utility. And there's no telling where this all ends. Okay, well, Tim Draper seems to still believe that one place that it ends by 2022 for Bitcoin is for Bitcoin to get to $250,000 per Bitcoin. And I don't disagree with him. I believe I was talking to a friend this morning, locally, who had discovered my channel without my telling him about it. And he called me up and we were talking about this very topic. And he was trying to figure out whether he should be an XRP fan or whether he should, what it is I was into. Is it just XRP? And what I told him is what I've told many of you before. I believe the top 10 or 15 digital assets in this space all of these boats will rise probably in the next 1 to 3 years. I believe you'll have something similar to an internet bubble. Eventually, we're not even close to that right now, but you will eventually have that type of effect. But in the meantime, this hype, you'll be watching Super Bowl commercials about digital assets before it's over, and there will be a huge ride up with the top 10 or 15 digital assets, and Bitcoin will definitely be one of them. But if Bitcoin, I'm here to tell you, if Bitcoin reaches 250K, watch out for what XRP will achieve, because XRP has something Bitcoin does not have. It has real utility, and I mean now, not tomorrow, not a year from now. XRP is the first and only digital asset to ever demonstrate real utility in a real product in the real world, and it's going to do it imminently in the next month. We've already read the articles. We've already seen the interviews. It's going to happen. It's not a question mark. Bitcoin, they're working on the Lightning Network, and hopefully that'll work out for them. But guess what? XRP is a Lightning Network. All right. This next article I had to show you because I saw it. And I'm not trying to bash Bitcoin today, but I see these things and I just laugh out loud. I'm like, who could have possibly written this silliness? This is Ethereum World News, and the title of this article is Disturbing Report. Using banks is 300 times more expensive than transacting with Bitcoin. This is a disturbing report. This is laughable on two levels. The first level is, how could you possibly write this article and talk about Bitcoin and not talk about Ripple? But the second is, go figure. Yeah, what do you think we've been saying for the last 4 years? And now they're all of a sudden on September 19th, 2018, they're finally showing up to the party and realizing that digital assets are faster and cheaper than the way it's done currently with the banks. They went on in here and talked about bank wire transfer costs. And it said, according to the information obtained from Bank of America, for a U.S. wire, it's $30 in transaction fees and $35 for an international wire. And then says, now look at the, they say that the fees that the bank is keeping $29.75 of that fee. So they're keeping 83% of what they're charging you to do these wire transfers. But this is just utterly hilarious. They were saying in this article about how much cheaper Bitcoin is. Well, guess what? The truth is Bitcoin costs not too far off from the bank. But guess who costs less than anybody? I mean, XRP and Ripple, it's below pennies. And so what a waste of an article to write an article about Bitcoin along these lines. Let me show you Ripple, Nick James, the author. Okay, and then the last thing, these guys make me laugh every day too. This is the Weiss ratings. They're back. Remember, the Weiss ratings, this is from the Daily Hodl. The Weiss ratings were the ones that came out and when they first came out with, they were the I think they were the first ratings company to come out with crypto ratings, and they just bashed XRP from the start, and then everybody tried to correct them, and then they tried to defend their position and acted arrogant about it. And then over the course of a month or two or three after that, they have started to put out all kinds of pro XRP tweets. And the truth of the matter is, they jumped the gun. They came out and ran their mouths about XRP before they knew what it really was. But to their credit, they have started to figure things out now. And so this is their tweet from the other day. Weiss ratings, if you believe crypto market will return to its former glory, the benchmark for 10 times gain, this is a 90% retracement. As of today, here are a few of top 25 coins that are at or above a 90% pullback, and they list XRP, and it says these are absolute steals right now. You think so? I know so. Now listen, I've told you many times that we are, and I was just now watching, and let me throw DM Logic a bone. DM Logic mentioned me on his stream, so I'm going to mention him. DM Logic, of all the, I'm not just going to mention him. I want to mention two other guys first. For those of you that have never heard me talk about this, I have not done a shout out to anybody recently, but I want to do it right now. When I think I started this channel about 6 or 8 months ago, and when I started it, there were two guys that I had been watching, and I was talking to my father one day, and he said, you know, I watch these guys do videos all the time, but I never have, he goes, I've never thought about it, but I bet you could do a channel like this because you know a lot about digital assets. And so I literally thought about it for a few weeks and just tried it out and put up a video. It took some doing to figure out how to do it the right way. And I tried it, and all of a sudden things took off. And so I wanted to give credit to the two guys that I watched that inspired me to start this channel. And the first one would be Alex Cobb. Okay, Alex Cobb is a great example to any people out there, especially younger people, who think that they have to have a job in order to be successful. This guy is living proof that it's not about getting a job, and that's not to say that getting a job is a bad thing, but you don't have to get a job. You don't have to work for someone. All you really have to do is sit down and think about ways, and first of all, think about what is your passion, and decide that you're going to try to do something that involves your passion, because that's what will get you up out of bed in the morning every morning and make you actually want to go to work, and the money will come. That's just the way life works. But so many people, they jump to necessity before they ever try to go down the road of following their passion. And so I really appreciate Alex Cobb for having inspired me to even start my channel. The second guy, and I can remember the video that I watched that really got me going. The second guy is Jungle Inc. Jungle Inc. was the second guy that I watched, but I remember like it was yesterday. He had it was a video, and it was like the scene was like looking at a pool or something that exemplified wealth, and it looked like I think he was just trying to show you what your view was going to be once XRP had hit. But I was struck with Jungle Inc. by how inspiring the guy was and how confident he was. And so, and to all of you out there, that what I would say to you about the Jungle Incs of the world is, listen, confidence is 99% of the game of life. And so the sooner you realize that, the better. People can see your confidence in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you look. And if you don't have confidence in your eyes, people will sense it. And so I give a lot of credit to Jungle Inc. for literally inspiring me. It's guys like that you hear that you say, well, it gives you confidence to believe what you already believed before as well. And so, and everybody waffles, especially in a bear market like we've been in, is there. It's so easy to get in a spiral of negative thinking. And so anybody that you can listen to or surround yourself with that is going to inspire you to not get caught in that spiral is a good thing. And Jungle Inc. deserves all credit. I'll tell you one thing that they used to tell us when I was a financial advisor, because it's a very tough mental atmosphere. And they used to tell us that if you ever heard anybody that you worked around talking negatively, you avoid them like the plague, because the second that they started thinking negatively, they were going to be drummed out of the business by their own negativity, because it's a self-perpetuating thing when you start thinking negatively. Now, I'm not telling anyone out there to think positively despite the evidence, but the good thing for us here is that XRP, all the evidence is positive. And for that reason, I have continued down the road of being positive. But I appreciate those two guys. Now, I was watching DM Logic's stream just a few minutes ago, and before I turned it off to do this video. So I want to give DM Logic full credit as well. I know that Jungle Inc. kind of got him started. I believe Jungle Inc. mentioned him, and that kind of took him off. And so he probably really owes a lot to Jungle Inc. as well. But DM Logic a minute ago threw me a bone. He said, he made a comment about how I had said in the past that this is the opportunity of 2 lifetimes. And it is. Not just XRP. Digital assets are, just ask yourself one question. When in your lifetime have you heard of a new asset class being created? And then go back and watch my video that I did this morning, and it shows you the numbers behind what's in the current asset classes. And you will see what's coming. I'm going to finish this up with a quote. This quote right here describes where you are at if you're a digital asset investor right now. This quote tells you everything you need to know about where you are positioned right now and where you will be in the next couple of years versus other people who can't change their thinking. Here's the quote. In times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. And that is what's going to happen to all the naysayers. So, I'm the digital asset investor. I am not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and go and get your Ledger Nano S to keep your digital assets safe. And thank you so much for listening.